Can I see in my office for a minute?
Sure. I'll be back.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the top 10 specific movie scenes noted for historical accuracy, regardless of how accurate the overall film's look, feel, and story may be.
It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Number 10. Get the girl to check the numbers. Hidden Figures. It was astronaut John Glenn who insisted that mathematician Katherine Johnson calculate his trajectory to orbit the Earth before he would launch, trusting his safety and success to her numbers rather than those of the NASA computer.
Let's get the girl to check the numbers.
The girl?
Yes, sir.
You mean Catherine?
Yes, sir. The smart one.
This would get Johnson's career path back on track and change history. Hidden Figures does merge some characters together, but this scene they attributed correctly, and even got Glenn's wording right, despite his referring to a 44-year-old as the girl.
After years of waiting and months of delays, Colonel Glenn is finally ready for that spaceflight that we've been waiting for with so much anticipation.
In fairness, he did also refer to her as the smart one. While this scene was spot on, it happened in reality between a day and a half and 3 days before the launch, not mere minutes as the subsequent scene would imply.
The launch window is a go. The landing coordinates match.
Well, that is very good news, Al. It's a little hard to trust something you can't look in the eyes.
That's right, Colonel. Catherine did manage to calculate a few decimal points further than that hunk of metal.
Well, I will take every digit you got.
Number 9. Little Round Top, Gettysburg. When it comes to accurate cinematic depictions of war, especially in terms of real strategic considerations, nothing seems to top 1993's Gettysburg, and in particular, the Battle of Little Round Top scene.
Sir, half my men are down. Most of the rest are wounded. The left is too thin, sir.
How are we fixed for ammunition?
It's almost gone. Sir, we're running out.
The set resembles the actual battlefield, and ammunition really was at a premium for both sides, which was not only mentioned but later shown, and the Union Army did use a wheel strategy, which clearly worked. This wasn't a long battle, but an effective one, and it garnered a 9 out of 10 historical accuracy rating from historian Gary Edelman.
Colonel, we watch from our position above. It's the damnedest thing I ever saw. May I shake your hand, sir?
Number 8. Bridge Crossing, Bridge of Spies. This may be the first time a Tom Hanks movie appears on this list, but it certainly won't be the last.
Well, let's go. You can stay here, Donovan.
Not likely. Open the gate.
This Steven Spielberg suspense drama gets the overall look and feel of Cold War Germany, as well as several key historic events correct, and earns its historical thriller descriptor. However, the climactic scene of a prisoner exchange on Glienicke Bridge, connecting Potsdam with what was West Berlin, got an 8 out of 10 historical accuracy score from Cold War historian James Hirschberg.
We exchange now or we go home.
We're waiting for another man.
Yep.
You want him too?
I want him.
We can see why. The tension, the players involved, and how everyone on both sides behaved was all very appropriate for 1962, when exchanges like this happened but weren't commonplace. Number 7. Subway Singing, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. When a film takes some liberties with historical fact, it's nice to know that one of the most heartwarming scenes in it happened as depicted.
And right now, that's doing a profile on one of our nation's heroes.
Who?
Mr. Rogers.
As in the hokey kids show
As
guy?
in the beloved children's television host, yes.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is based on Tom Juneau's Can You Say Hero, an article he wrote for Esquire about the time he spent with Mr. Rogers himself, Fred Rogers. The film changes some things, including Juneau's name to Lloyd Vogel, but the subway singing scene wasn't made up or altered.
Hey, Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
According to Juneau, a group of students recognized Rogers on the New York City subway, and instead of asking for autographs, started singing. It was a loving tribute that clearly brought a smile to the late icon's face.
Won't you please won't you be my neighbor?
Number 6. Go Down as Gentlemen, Titanic. We admit it. Most people watch this movie for the Jack and Rose love story. And maybe the Celine Dion song. Aside from the broad strokes of a supposedly unsinkable ship sinking after it hit an iceberg, we're not really looking for historical accuracy in the minutiae. But that doesn't mean there aren't some gems to be found.
All right, boys, like the captain said, nice and cheery so there's no panic.
As the Titanic is going down, we see a group of men dressed in tuxedos offered life jackets and a spot on the lifeboats, presumably due to their wealth. One man rejects the offer with a total badass line.
No, thank you. We are dressed in our best and are prepared to go down as gentlemen. But we would like a brandy.
According to multiple eyewitnesses, that actually happened. And the man was Benjamin Guggenheim, a wealthy American businessman. The scene is cut in some versions, but really shouldn't be. Number 5. Harvey Milk assassination/prediction. Milk. On November 27, 1978, former San Francisco City Supervisor Dan White shot and killed Mayor George Moscone.
You can't take this away from me.
Dan,
you can't.
Look, you made a decision. You made the decision.
He then walked down the hall and ran into the current supervisor and gay rights icon, Harvey Milk. He calmly asked Milk to follow him to an empty office and then murdered him too. The 2008 biopic Milk shows this sequence of events as it happened, casual brutality intact.
Where is everyone? Doesn't anyone give a damn?
It follows this up with actor Sean Penn recreating a real recording Milk made, essentially predicting his own assassination and urging supporters to rise up. This plays over a recreated scene of the vigil that followed Milk's assassination.
I ask for the movement to continue because it's not about personal gain, and it's not about ego, and it's not about power. It's about the us's out there.
Number 4. Losing her wedding ring, Apollo 13. When a film gets so much of the big picture stuff true to history, you can forgive it for improvising some of the smaller character moments.
Thinking there might be a slight change in destination.
Really?
Maybe say the moon.
But that wasn't needed here. Not only did Ron Howard nail the sets, period costumes, and details of the space mission itself, he took an anecdote the real Marilyn Lovell told him and put it on screen.
I just don't think I can go through all that. I'll just be glad when this one's over.
Well, you're gonna miss a hell of a show.
On the morning her husband Jim launched into space, she lost her wedding ring down the drain in her hotel room as she was showering, just as we see Kathleen Quinlan do in the movie. While it felt like an omen for what was to come, she did get the ring back after her husband safely returned to Earth.
Our mission was called a successful failure, in that we returned safely but never made it to the moon.
Number 3. The Bunker, Downfall. You're probably familiar with this scene, or at least a version of it, even if you haven't watched 2004's Downfall.
Dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Mein Führer, Steiner konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt.
An irate Adolf Hitler yelling at his generals while looking over some maps has been turned into countless parody videos, replacing the English subtitles to make Hitler yell about everything from a sports team losing to reviews of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Sind Sie, dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen? So weit ist das also gekommen.
Ironically, these memes are using one of the most accurate depictions of the final days of one of history's most reviled figures. While there are no eyewitness accounts of the full rant, the dictator's temperament and the subject matter discussed in the scene are all spot on, according to people who were there and listening from outside the room.
Es ist unmöglich, unter diesen Umständen zu führen. Es ist aus. a trick.
Number 2. DDay Landing, Saving Private Ryan. Steven Spielberg's war epic is a work of historical fiction, setting a story inspired by real events against the backdrop of World War II.
Stand out of your weapons. Keep those actions clear. I'll see you on the beach.
So it wouldn't make any lists for overall historical accuracy. However, the film opens with one of the most accurate depictions of what the landing on Omaha Beach on D-Day was like.
Who's in command here? You are, sir!
The look and feel of the scene were so visceral that it brought real veterans at a screening to tears. It didn't get everything right, notably the amount of armor that reached the beach. Also, 1975's Overlord has a more accurate depiction of the same event, but that mixed in actual archive footage.
This is a bloody nightmare. I feel sick. Watch out, we're going in!
For a fully recreated cinematic rendition, this one can't be beat. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Malcolm X assassination. Malcolm X, because eyewitness and FBI accounts match Spike Lee's depiction. Nanny pinching young prince, the King's Speech. King George VI's first nanny did mistreat him, according to his brother's biographer.
When we were presented to my parents for the daily viewing, she'd pinch me, so I'd cry and be handed back to her immediately.
Be Free or Die. Harriet. Tubman's pistol was for protection and intimidation, as in the crossing the river scene.
Oh, we ain't going in that river. Come on, y'all.
I say we are. Now you be free or die.
Attack on Bin Laden's compound. Zero Dark 30. Reportedly, a look at classified documents helped in the authenticity of this scene.
Hey, what's up? I shot the third floor guy. Why'd you get to work?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. Flight instructor spots Japanese squadrons. Tora, Tora, Tora. This 1970 movie showing the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor from both sides is historically accurate pretty much from start to finish.
According to this latest intercept, Tokyo wants to conclude negotiations with us no later than November 29, after which, and I quote, things are automatically going to happen.
But one scene stands out by paying attention to a seemingly minute detail. A flight instructor on a training run with a trainee is the first to encounter the attacking Japanese aircraft. It plays like a bit of invented comedy mixed into the historical drama, but it really happened.
I'm taking over, Davey!
Cornelia Clark Fort did spot and narrowly evade the squadron just before the attack started. She would go on to join the Women's Air Force service pilots and sadly die in a mid-air collision while on duty 2 years after the near miss depicted in the movie.
After logging more than 1,100 flight hours, Cornelia's adventure in the sky ended as she entered her place in U.S. military history as the first female pilot to die while on active duty.
What do you think of our list? Are there any other historically accurate scenes you think we should have included? Let us know in the comments.
So, you think we can get to the moon?
We're already there, sir.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.